Good morning, YouTube. Spyderco back here this morning. It's pretty early. It's about 6 o'clock, 6:20 in the morning. I'm usually a early riser. It's kind of the time I could actually film. It's pretty quiet. Also, I myself have got to be quiet because I've got people still sleeping. Um, so, just trying to be quiet and actually film a sharpening video. I'm going to take care of this Sage 5, which I love. Would love to get that Sage 6, but it's pretty much the same thing, but I want that button. I don't know. But this is a beautiful knife, s30v. I did sharpen it recently, but I noticed I didn't get the tip very well, and it was bugging me. Now, to experience to intermediate, I guess, Spyderco knives, the way they are, they don't have a plunge or a choil or anything like that, so they could be a little challenging to beginners. I know it was for me. I know I was a little bit weary on sharpening a because I kind of almost messed up my shaman. Uh, and now that I've gotten better, I've fixed it. But so I just kind of waited on my Spydercos, but this one I did use for a little bit, not a lot, but I wanted to fix that tip because it had like that shiny little part that springs back at you, which means I didn't get the tip very well. And then the hilt, you're gonna see, some people could put a notch in there. I guess I could, but if you get a fixed angle, you could get in there pretty good. I've done this one with the fixed angle, and it looks great. The only thing with the freehand is you're only going to be able to get to right about there, right where you would put the actual choil. So you're going to probably see that. But you'll see that I just did one, one or two swipes on the 220 here, and I already got to my tip. So it's not going to be very long, and I will need to like pause it. So I'm trying not to make a 40-minute video, and I'm already wasting time. So you'll probably see cuts and stuff like that for me to go ahead and finish up on one side and then flip it over or whatever. So that way I could try to make it like a 20-minute video. I'll try, but I'm starting from scratch here. I'm not gonna dead I mean, it's still sharp, but I want to and now I think I almost got a bird. This 220s, man, it's aggressive. So I'm over here blabbing away, wasting time, but I just wanted to give you context of what this is. It's very early, that's why my voice is low, and I'm sharpening the Spyderco Sage 5 and s30v. So I will start on the 220. I'll do a few on this side, get it going, we'll look at it, and then we'll swap it over. I gotta somehow condense time, you know what I mean? So it's like, alright, just sort of bear with me if you get. And then, alright, make sure. It's very important you kind of get in there as good as you can, but it's all about your angle. Make sure you're happy with it. There you go. That's about as far as I could, because I'm going to have to cut. So that's my shining right back at me. Okay. Okay. See, it's not like where you got a lot of belly and then you do this. I mean, you're pretty much, it's like an egg. You're like pretty much just the whole time you're you're kind of lifting your elbow, and you should be locked in your wrist and in your arm. And I like to have it close because I can pull it back, and then I can't help but lift my elbow. If it's far away from you, you're almost going to lift with your wrist, and that's what you do not want to do. You want to lock this as it's one unit, like a robotic arm, and then your elbow, you could do this, you know, exactly how Neves, outdoors, everybody, Erica, it teaches you how. And it's just the best way to kind of get that muscle memory and hold your angle. And like Jared says, every time you take even if you're locked like I am, you'll be, as he says, a hunt hare, but you get what I'm saying, a difference in angle. And I feel he's right. But you could also do, like what he says, when you're closer, you could just push it back down and push it forward. You could come back like this, but that's also good too. It's to each their own. I'm ambidextrous, so it's like I really keep an eye on that. I mean, there's just no way to. I mean, you could once you get to their level, and I'm not anywhere. You know, I got a few years before I really see all kinds of different steels, all kinds of different blade shapes. You know, all kinds of different sharpening tools to sharpen. But this is going pretty good. I can tell I'm right in there. I'm flat, and this is the T20. So all I'm trying to do, I'm not doing very much pressure. My finger is just guiding, and I could tell I get the tip because I could feel it. And sometimes on the harder grit, you know, you're gonna open yourself up sometimes if you forget that you're sliding it across diamonds. Okay. So yeah, I mean, you just follow, and then you can get that tip pretty good. Just taking your time, you know, there's no need to rush, you know. Sometimes it feels like you kind of want to, you know, lock and go, but you don't want to be timid on the first one because you're going to be, yeah, all over the place, and it's not going to want to go. This thing's going to slide. Just have a purpose. Get your angle. Even if you're not sure and you don't want to go all the way back, you could just kind of find, I mean, you have angle finders with these things, but I stopped using them after a while because they kept scratching up my thing. I mean, you could make it to where it doesn't, but I just stopped using them after a while and found my own angle. And that's kind of what happens, is you learn where, you know, you get that muscle memory of where 17 would be. Like, I could tell, like Jared has it on his thumb. I have it on the tip of my finger because I never really go this way. Even though I used to, but once I got into sharpening, this was best because I could see everything, even though you could probably do the same on the other side. And I was really getting my tips on that. But I really want the whole edge to be symmetrical, meaning good, clean all the way down the line there and all the way to the tip. I got a nice little modest burr. But now I just want to go ahead make sure I got the tip on this okay. Let me check it on my end. It's a little hard to get close to that hilt. So, but if I could get it right to about there. Let's go ahead. Oh. It's about as best as you're gonna, close as you're gonna get, and that's right where you would put your choil anyway. It'll still get, you know, straps if you have to reverse grip it. Yeah. It's going to be extremely sharp by the time I'm done with it anyway, so you could just pop ropes and stuff like that. It's about a 17. Yeah, so you can see, got that tip now. It used to be like this ball at the end, but now it's got pretty good. So I just got to match the back up a little bit. So it's real important when you do on this, like these guys say, if you're gonna work on a little piece, blend it in, because you'll have divots, you'll have deeper scratches, and the next variation stones may not get it. Next progression of stones may not get it, so you just may have to kind of start back at the last grit, or whatever grit made those deeper scratches, if you spend too much time on it. All I'm doing now is kind of do this and blend it in. Do this and blend it in. And then bring the elbow up. This. I can feel exactly when I'm in my bevel. And there you go. It should be just about right. But because it's still got, I'm mainly setting my bevel. Let's go ahead and grab this a little bit. And you still gotta make sure you're going down the blade shape correctly. Because the Para 3, this one's different, sort of like the Chaparral and the Mannix, and then you got the PM2, which has different blades. So it's like you want to learn to keep right in that angle and lock. Yeah. Definitely find a comfortable area where you're going to hold your knife throughout your sharpening, because you could fatigue real easy if you're not on a spot that you're comfortable at. Kind of use this little pinch grip because you can see everything. Alright, so I'm not going to spend too much more time on that. I got a full burr. Let's go ahead and flip it over. We'll do the first one here. Oh, I didn't get the back. Yeah, this is going to be tough. Alright. You don't want to do any pressure when you do that, because you could be at a really low or a high angle. Anyway, we'll get to it. So let's find our angle. Pretty much I can see my shine coming right back at me. When a stone cuts fast, I like that because I don't like to spend a lot of time on the aggressive ones because it takes off a lot of steel. So let's see if I can keep the same angle, but I gotta go sideways and not go into my sorry, trying to look through a camera. Yeah. So okay, where are we at? Oh, when I'm done with the first stone and we're almost at that. Okay. Yeah. Whatever's trying to learn. What I was always looking up was how to freehand sharpen, right? And all I wanted to see was people do sharpening freehand, you know. But what I kept finding, well, there is, but when I wanted to just follow somebody and see how they're doing it and not have a total explanation, they could do it while they could explain while they're sharpening. I don't know. I just like these, like, I'm almost watching my own videos because it's like, it's motivating for one, and it's exactly what I'm trying to get down to is like, yeah, I'm not a beginner, but I just want to see somebody that like just gets to sharpening and then does it slowly for like the not quite professional but not beginner, and just sharpen a knife, go through. This could be like, all right, this will be all right, all diamond plate, just like what I'm doing here, because trying to that was fast. Yeah. Okay, it's coming out right. I'll make sure I get that tip. Look at that. That's great. 220. Probably could have. I tried the 400 at first, but it just didn't seem like it was cutting that I need because Spyderco heat treatment is pretty good, and that 400 is kind of dying. So. Okay. So. I'm gonna go ahead and switch over to the. No, let's do 220. Now I'm gonna hit the 400 just to kind of clean up, because again it was already sharp. I'm just getting the tip pointy, so we're gonna do a forward pass. And that's good in there. That's good to go. Oh no, I think I'm. Bad. Like the feedback on this is very good on the Atomas, because I could tell when there's a spot I didn't get, it'll have that little rough part, and then by the time I'm done sliding it across, it's just as smooth as the rest. Man, Atoma, just saturation they have on there and the placement of these diamonds just makes fast, good, clean work of these knives, these blades. Okay. I'm just trying to make sure they don't convex. I gotta keep it. I'm feeling the feedback. I think I lowered my angle a little bit because I noticed the other side might have been a little lower than that one. So I'm just matching them up at this point, and that looks good. So all the way back to the hilt could be better, but what I'm more worried about is the whole blade and the tip. And as you get to this point, and you did dig your bevel and you got your angle going, it should get easier as you go, because you should have that notch, kind of like a track built in. And all you have to do is use your senses. And it's not like all you have to do. I mean, it takes a little bit to use all your senses condensed into one project, which is sharpening. So I'm gonna forward past this. I got a burr all the way across. Go ahead and not lollygag on this one. This is to refine my scratch pattern, and then the 600 will be next. Keep it flat, slow it down, make sure your feedback is pretty much flat and you don't have any grinding, meaning you're coming out of your angle, and the fact that you got everything on that edge, sharpening wise, and the way that bevel should turn out. It should be pointy like that. It should be straight all the way across. And if a fixed angle, you should be able to get in there. I know I have, because I've sharpened this before. I can't really get in there unless I notch it, but I really don't care to notch it. If I get to Sage 6, then I will, but I don't know. I feel like notching it, I don't know if that'll upset people, but I feel like it's kind of cheating, but it does make sense if you like Spyderco. But I mean, they don't even give you any room. I mean, what are you supposed to do? So it makes sense to make a notch, sharpening tool. Alright, we're gonna go to the 600. Oh, what is that? Alright. Oh, listen to that. You guys should feel this feedback. That's like perfectly in the angle. Perfect. Okay. I gotta pause for a quick second. and I'll be right back. Okay, so what I did was the video is becoming a little long, so I just wanted to finish up on the 600. It's very easy. All I was trying to do is get my tip, and I got my tip pretty good. It's nice and pointy, and that side as well, and it's all straight with a nice bevel on it, except for back here, like here. And then this side's pretty good. Got my tip pretty good there. So if you got a Sage 5 or a Sage 6, I believe they're the same type of blade shape. So, but probably different steel. This is s30v, but these stones will cut whatever. But this is a way to kind of go along with it if you are a little wary of sharpening Spydercos. Just trust in yourself, and definitely, if you're very new, practice on knives that don't cost a lot. You know, try your s30vs and stuff. They all have great heat treat. But Spyderco has the good. So when you get to the Spyderco, you'll see that the burr just comes right off. Alright, so let me just fatigue. This is the 1200. So all I'm doing at this point is fatiguing the rest of this burr. And it's just a little burr. So and I'm kind of refining, evening out my scratch patterns. Yeah, it's feeling good. You know, it's feeling good when you're like, that feedback is getting, is feeling pretty good. And I could see the other side rolling as I'm getting a little bit bigger burr than I rolled over. That's how you know. But for all intents and purposes, this thing is sharp. I just need to get it off my apex. And again, it was already sharp, but again, I don't need to destroy the edge to make it sharp. It's just I was going for the tip. There we go. So that's how that's coming out. That's looking pretty good. I'll go ahead and do one trailing pass. Just because the way the heat treat is, I do not want any tear outs. I don't know if that's a thing, but I don't want it to rip out. I want it to like pop off on the strops, or just fatigue to the point, because again, I have the 9 micron, which I've been using, and it really takes off tiny, stubborn burrs. It really is. It's really concentrated. So, alright. So that looks good. That looks fantastic. Okay, so it's so minimal, so flaky that I'm just going to go ahead and very lightly. Yeah, I can film. That's why I'm not going fast. I don't want to rip it out. But I do need to keep my bevel from apexing. So. Alright. That should be good. I'm going to do that on this side. This is just sort of my finishing stone for now. Because I do not think it's a 1200 anymore. Just like the 600 and the 400, that's almost, I've definitely been using them with tens and tens and tens of knives, from thick blade stocks to thin to kitchen knives to, you know, fixed blades. I've been using these stones on everything, but I think that came out pretty good. Let's see how it comes back. Wait a minute, I thought I felt something. Wait. That's my tip. My tip is good, right? Yeah, okay. It's just a burr. There we go. There we go. All right. Let me grab these here real quick. See how it comes off. Let's see if I can go. All right, so that's right off the stone. So it's been pretty much deburred pretty good. But now it's time for the strops. This is the exciting part of mine. Let's see, everything looks good. Alright, this is the 9 micron. No pressure. Just whatever burr's on there. And with this, isn't for everybody. This is just, I mean, it kind of helps flip over, but I'm putting absolutely no pressure so I don't roll. And I'm leaning the knife back pretty good, so I do not roll, but I do want those, any burr to snag, because it's fibrous, and it'll catch any remaining burr, especially at the tip, because that's what I worked on. You could hear it. But 9 micron should be able to take care of this. It has taken care of. I've tried it with a whole entire burr. Not a heavy burr, but like a minimal burr. I took to the 9 micron and it took it off easily. So and I just reloaded these last night, so they're all freshly emulsioned. Oops. Tell I'm just barely holding on to it. It's like the weight of like, I don't know, just the knife, and then to where my finger isn't like on that. It's just the blade that's touching. That way you can control your pressure on the actual strop. And then there's different, I have different type of fabric on these. So this is just the most forgiving one, the hardest one. So this should take off 99% of the burr. And then leave microscopic, shavings. You might even see them. But, oh yeah. That, I had some burr, I had some debris on the apex. Now it's gone. And now it's fine tuning. I'm going to go to the 4. That's going to take off, and the type of material that's on that strop is less forgiving than this one, so it's going to get a little deeper into the strop. What I mean by that is, there's the 4. It's like that rubbery, it's not the suede. The suede's on this side, and it has a 1 micron. So this is the 4. Still pretty forgiving, but this is more flat, and you could actually see that this is sort of polishing as well. I mean, not polishing, but kind of knocking off anything as it's polished, as it's deburring and honing, getting it nice and sharp. It's also taking off any microscopics, because I could feel the emulsion. I really like the 4. So far it's been working great, because right after that 9, oh yeah, that's good. Yeah, so that's the 4. We will go to the 1. Here's the 1. You don't have to do this, it's just what I do. Just like a full progression, people could see, like, okay, you want to do that, this is what the micron, this micron does, this done, without spending a significant amount of time explaining, because it's hard to sharpen and talk at the same time and have it done in like 10 minutes. Like, I mean, I know these guys could do it in a short, but the clip that, I mean, I don't know. I mean, they're just very, very good. I'm sure I'd be able to do that, but it wouldn't be consistent. Alright. Oh my gosh. That is incredibly sharp. Alright. Let's keep going. No lollygagging. Yeah. When you're done until. I like that. That's what I've been told all my life. Jared and I have a lot of common. Similar backgrounds. But, I don't know, maybe that's why I like connect with his channel and how he is. Metal complex, I just can't like relate to him. I don't know. He's a cool guy, it's fun, whatever. But I like when people, I don't know, I like when people do stuff. I just, instead of spending a bunch of money on a knife and show it off and have a price tag on every single knife that comes across this table, that's just kind of cringy after a while. It's like, yeah, we know, yeah. There's a little envy in there, but it's like, I don't know, it's just his crowd, his thing. It's just, I don't know. I like Neves, outdoors, I like that type of stuff. Alright, so this is the last one. This is the 0.5 on my kangaroo leather. And they go back to that other one here. that was a little bit choppy. I used that one to really just snag off anymore. And what I mean is this one, how it's all chewed up. It's kind of good to grab. Like, you know, there's bumps. It's flat, but it has little cuts in it. So as I go across, it'll grab those. But you gotta lay it back or you're gonna roll. No pressure and lay back. Alright. That is done. That is done. What are we doing? Oh my god. Sorry for the long video again, guys. If you made it through, thank you. This is it. Really sharp. 17 degrees. Sage 5. S30v. Very good. So the not getting the hilt doesn't bother me at all, you know, because what I'm really using is pretty much from there to there, you know. So it's pretty much right there where it's not sharpened. That's where the choil would go. I don't even use that part anyway. It would just be for looks, if anything. But I gotta sit over this early, just waking up. It's kind of like having a cup of coffee and sharpen a knife. Trying to make this a longer video than it needs to be, but I did spend a lot of time, so I do want to show results. This is just no matter which way. Hang on 1 second. Okay. This is something I thought was pretty cool. I guess it's already 43 minutes, but this is I did my laundry. This is a used dryer sheet. I mean, it is thin, you can see through it, but I've learned that my results could be shown on, if there's anything on the apex, which I am able to cut right through it. Now, it's not the most difficult stuff since it is a grabbable fabric, but the only reason I'm doing it is to check to see if there's anything on the apex. And it cuts right through, which means it's just the regular micro serrations that you want on there. And I could do swirls on these things. It was the thinnest thing I could find to try my results on, other than paper towel, which is great, but I'm not gonna buy a roll for that. But I thought this was pretty cool. Bam. And it cuts. The thinner it gets, it's cutting. Yeah. Swirl right in between. Dryer sheet. Yeast. Very thin. But it's not as difficult to cut through as you think. But it was to check my edge, and it will leave residue because it is a dryer sheet with softener on it. So you'll need to take it back to the straw after that. But once you're done with that, I gotta say those were pretty good results. And I'm getting better. So that'll do it. Sorry about the long video, but I know there's guys out there like me that just want to follow along and just get to sharpening, get everything ready, and just follow along. And, see what I'm doing wrong, make a comment, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, we're all sharpeners in this at this point. If you've watched my videos for any amount of time, I'm really into sharpening, and I've started my journey. Well, I used to try a long time ago, but I got good at the fixed angle, and then I really wanted to get good at freehand. And I put in the blood, sweat, tears for it, and the patience, the length, the time, put in the work, watched my professionals, took their word as bond, and trusted in the teaching. And I gotta say, I'm getting pretty good. Sage 5, same as the Sage 6 if you are sharpening the Sage 6, or any Spyderco for them. But that'll do it. If you found this interesting, please give me a like, sub, comment. Thank you for watching. Have fun, be safe. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace out.